My girlfriend admitted she cheated. I needed a real man, she smirked. My friends took her side. I just smiled, grabbed my keys, and left. This morning, my phone was blowing up with 32 missed calls. I've always been the kind of guy who likes routine, the one who finds comfort in the predictable. My name is Jake, and I've prided myself on being the steady, reliable type. Emily, on the other hand, was the vibrant, unpredictable force in my life. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue where her laughter was the loudest, her smile the brightest. It was like she had this magnetic pull, drawing everyone in with her infectious energy. Our friends, Tom, Sarah, and Mike, often teased us about being the perfect match, like two puzzle pieces that just fit. Life was good, or so I thought, until that evening at La Trattoria. It was our favorite Italian restaurant, the place where we had our first date, where we shared countless meals, and where we were now celebrating our 3-year anniversary. The evening started like any other date night, with Emily looking stunning. In her red dress, her eyes sparkling with excitement. She was the epitome of beauty, her presence lighting up the room. We ordered our usual, a bottle of Chianti, the bruschetta to start, and the promise of a rich tiramisu for dessert. But as the night unfolded, something felt off. Emily's usual cheerfulness was replaced by a nervous energy. Her laughter, which typically filled the space between us, seemed forced. I noticed her fingers tracing the rim of her wine glass, a habit she had when she was deep in thought or anxious. The shift in atmosphere was palpable. I tried to lighten the mood, joking about the time we got locked out of our apartment and had to spend the night in the stairwell. But even that memory didn't bring the usual sparkle to her eyes. Over dinner, Emily's demeanor grew increasingly distant. She played with her pasta, her fork twirling the noodles aimlessly. I tried to engage her in conversation, asking about her day, her work, anything to bring back the warmth we usually shared. But her responses were short, almost curt. Finally, as the waiter cleared our plates, she looked up at me with a mix of defiance and guilt. "Jake, there's something I need to tell you," she began, her voice low but steady. My heart sank, knowing instinctively that whatever she was about to say would change everything. I braced myself, the clink of cutlery and the murmur of other diners fading into a distant hum. Emily's eyes, usually so full of life, now seemed clouded with a storm of emotions. She took a deep breath, her gaze dropping to the table before meeting mine again. "I've been feeling different lately," she said, her words measured, as if she was choosing them carefully. "It's not about us, not directly, but it's something that's been weighing on me." I felt a cold wave of dread wash over me. Was she unhappy? Was there someone else? My mind raced with possibilities, each one more unsettling than the last. "It's about my job," she continued, her voice gaining a slight tremor. "I've been offered a position overseas in Paris. It's an incredible opportunity, but it means I'd have to leave, possibly for a long time." The words hit me like a physical blow. Paris. That was an ocean away, a world apart from our life here. My thoughts were a whirlwind of confusion and fear. Could our relationship survive such a distance? Emily took a deep breath, her eyes not meeting mine. "I've been seeing someone else," she confessed. The words hit me like a physical blow. "I needed a real man," she added with a smirk, her words laced with a venom I had never seen in her before. The restaurant around us seemed to fade into a blur. My friends, who were supposed to be at the next table, had apparently heard everything. Tom, Sarah, and Mike, instead of consoling me, sided with Emily. "Maybe she's right, Jake. You've been too comfortable," Tom said, his voice echoing in my ears. I felt a cold wave of betrayal wash over me. But instead of the expected anger or tears, a calm resolve settled in. I smiled, a smile that felt foreign on my lips, grabbed my keys, and walked out of the restaurant without another word, The night air was cool against my flushed skin as I stepped outside. The city lights blurred into streaks of color, mirroring the chaos in my mind. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed to move, to escape the suffocating atmosphere of betrayal and the sharp sting of rejection. My feet carried me to the park where Emily and I used to walk hand in hand. The memory of our laughter, now tainted, echoed in the silence of the night. I sat on our bench, the one where we had shared dreams and plans for the future. Now, those dreams felt like they belonged to someone else, someone who didn't know the sting of being discarded. I replayed her words in my head, each one slicing deeper. I needed a real man. What did that even mean? Was I not enough? Had I been too predictable, too routine? The questions swirled, but no answers came. Just the cold, hard truth that she had moved on, found someone else who apparently filled a void I didn't even know existed. My phone buzzed incessantly in my pocket. Probably Tom or Sarah trying to reach out, maybe even Emily with some half-hearted apology or justification. I ignored it. I needed this moment, this solitude, to process the unraveling of what I thought was my life. The drive home from the park was a blur, my mind racing with thoughts of betrayal and abandonment. The silence of my apartment was deafening. I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, the reality of my situation sinking in. My phone, which I had left on silent, began to vibrate incessantly. Curiosity got the better of me, and I checked my phone. 32 missed calls, all from Emily, Tom, Sarah, and Mike. The messages varied from apologies to accusations, from pleas to return to threats of what I might lose if I didn't come back. Emily's messages were a mix of regret and justification. "Jake, please, let's talk about this. I didn't mean for it to go this far," one read. Another was more direct. "You need to understand, I've been feeling suffocated. I thought you'd understand." Tom's texts were less sympathetic. "You've got to move on, man. She's made her choice," he wrote, his words echoing the harsh reality I was facing. Sarah's messages were filled with concern. "Jake, are you okay? We're here for you, even if it doesn't seem like it right now." Mike, ever the peacemaker, tried to mediate. "Let's meet up, talk this out. We can fix this, Jake." I felt a surge of anger and confusion. Why were they calling me? What did they expect me to do? Return to the scene of my humiliation? The phone buzzed again, this time a voice message from Emily. Her voice was shaky, filled with a cocktail of emotions. "Jake, I'm sorry. I didn't handle this well. I thought I could have it all, but I see now I've hurt you deeply. Please, just let's talk." The sincerity in her voice was almost convincing, but the sting of her earlier words, "I needed a real man," still echoed in my mind. How could I trust anything she said now? I tossed the phone onto the coffee table, its screen lighting up with another call, this time from an unknown number. My heart skipped a beat, wondering if it was the next morning. After a sleepless night, I decided to confront the situation head-on. I drove to Emily's apartment, where I found her, Tom, Sarah, and Mike waiting. Emily's eyes were red from crying, and she rushed towards me. "Jake, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I was confused." But before she could continue, I held up my hand. "I know about the plan," I said, my voice steady. Their faces fell. "The plan to make me jealous, to push me into proposing. I found the texts, Emily. You all thought this would make me realize what I could lose." The revelation hit them like a ton of bricks. Emily's plan, orchestrated with our friends, was to make me feel insecure enough to propose. But it backfired, spectacularly. Emily's voice trembled as she tried to explain. "Jake, I thought if you felt like you might lose me, you'd see how much I meant to you, how much we meant to each other." I shook my head, the betrayal still raw. And you thought this was the way to do it? By making me feel less than? By seeing someone else? By making me think I wasn't enough? Tom stepped forward, his face a mix of guilt and defiance. We thought it would work, Jake. We thought it would push you to make a move, to show her how you felt. Sarah, tears in her eyes, added, We didn't expect it to go this far. We just wanted you to see what you had before. It was too late. Mike, usually the voice of reason, looked down, unable to meet my gaze. It was a stupid plan, Jake. We messed up. We all did. The room was heavy with the weight of their collective regret. Emily reached out, her hand trembling. Jake, I love you. I've always loved you. I just got scared that we were stuck, that we weren't moving forward. I took a step back, the distance between us feeling like miles. Love isn't about games, Emily. It's not about manipulation or making someone else. But as I stood there looking at each of them, their expressions a mix of shock and regret, I knew what I had to do. Leave and start anew. I'm not the man you thought I was, nor the one you wanted me to be, I said, my voice calm but firm. I'm leaving not just this relationship, but this town. I need to find myself again, without the games. As I turned to leave, Emily's voice broke. Jake, please don't go. But I was already walking away, my steps echoing in the quiet morning. My phone buzzed again, but this time I didn't look back. The road stretched out before me, an endless ribbon of asphalt leading to the unknown. I drove with the windows down, the wind carrying away the remnants of my past life. The further I got from that town, the lighter I felt, as if each mile was shedding the weight of betrayal and manipulation. I ended up in a small coastal town where the ocean's vastness seemed to reflect the possibilities of my new life. Here, I found solace in the simplicity of daily routines, but this time, they were mine, chosen by me, not imposed by others. I worked at a local cafe, where the only drama was deciding between latte art designs. Months turned into years, and in this new life, I discovered parts of myself I never knew existed. I learned to surf, feeling the rush of freedom as I rode the waves. I joined a book club, where discussions were about ideas, not about who said what to whom. And in a quiet moment sitting on the beach at sunset, I realized I had found peace. Did I ever look back? In moments of weakness, yes. I wondered about Emily, about our friends, about the life I left behind. But those thoughts were fleeting, like shadows at dusk. I didn't need to look back to know that I had made the right choice. The journey of self-discovery wasn't just about escaping a toxic relationship. It was about finding authenticity, about understanding that love isn't about games or manipulation, but about genuine connection and mutual respect. One evening, as I sat by the ocean, watching the sunset, I realized how far I had come. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.